Thank you everyone for joining us for today's presentation, the 5 must-haves of a disaster recovery solution. And my name is Carla Federigo. I'm the online marketing manager here at Infrascale. Just 2 quick announcements before we get started. One is that there is a question tool in the software today. So in GoToWebinar, please find that questions box and be sure to ask lots of questions throughout the presentation. It's great to have a really interactive presentation, and I will be able to answer those questions as we go. And I do want to make a note that the person who asked the most relevant and on-topic question is going to win a prize. We are doing a prize giveaway during the Q&A at the end of the presentation. So definitely, to be eligible for that, all you need to do is ask some relevant and on-topic questions. Also, there's a handout section in the software. So if you find that handout section, you're also going to be able to access a copy of these slides, the presentation slides, as well as a copy of a DRAS report that I'm going to refer to in one of the first few slides here. So I'll make sure to know that you grab a copy of that report as well. So with that, let's take a quick look at the agenda. First, we're going to talk about some key trends in disaster recovery. Then we'll talk about the 5 must-haves, as the title of the webinar suggests. And then we're going to look at the Infrascale difference. And by that, I just mean who is Infrascale, what's our mission, and what we can do for you, and how we can help you grow your business, how we can help you make money selling disaster recovery, grow your margins with recurring revenues, and a couple of answers to frequently asked questions. Is there going to be a video recording? So yes, we do have a video recording of this webinar. It will be posted on our website in the next approximately 24 hours. I'm also going to email you a copy of that replay video. And then again, you can post your questions throughout the webinar using that question tool. And with that, I do want to start off with a quick poll, just to hear a little bit about you. So let me go ahead and launch this poll here. You should see that come up on your screen now. So this poll, I'm asking a little bit about you so that I'm able to tailor this presentation to your needs and really give examples that fit with your business. Looks like 56% of you have voted so far. Already up to 72% of you who voted. And if you're on this call, please also feel free to use the question tool throughout to let me know about your business. Are you an MSP? Are you a VAR? What types of products and services are you offering your current customers? Just to get the conversation going. It's great to hear from you. How much data do you have to protect for your customers? And if you are currently in the IT department at a business organization, no problem. This information is also very helpful and useful for you, and we'll definitely be able to match you up with one of our current partners or one of our new partners to get you on board as well. And so far it looks like 90% of you have voted, which is great. Thank you so much for the participation. I'll go ahead and close the poll down now. It looks like we've got 17% of those of you who responded are in the 0 to 10, 11% in the 10 to 25, 32% in the 25 to 100, and 37% of you have more than 100 customers at the moment. Okay, so let me close that poll down and get back into the presentation. And we've already got lots of feedback coming through already. Eric says we are an MSP and VAR, heavy focus in the EMC space in data center. Okay, wonderful, Eric. And how many customers do you currently have? And are you currently offering disaster recovery? So let's look at a couple of the current problems with the disaster recovery methods that are out there now, some of the trends that are propelling the growth of DRAS, and really take a look at what businesses and what downtime ends up costing a business. So here at InfraScale, just to be clear, when we refer to DR as a service, we mean the ability to fail over your customer's entire business, not just their data, to a secondary location in the event of any disaster. And the problem that we've found, like you see here, is that most businesses are simply ill-equipped to respond to outages. And here are some of the effects that we saw of downtime. So the pervasiveness of downtime and also some of the top causes. This is one of the reports that I mentioned that you can grab in the handout section. So the pervasiveness of downtime, 91% of those surveyed had had a data center outage in the past 24 months. And 47%, so roughly half of companies, experienced an outage or downtime within the last year. And then the top causes, 55% hardware failure, 22% human error, 18% software failure, and then just 5% natural disasters. So this is going to sound familiar to you. Your customers, as you know, can have hardware failure happen at any time. Human error, how many of us ourselves have accidentally hit the delete button? Or, of course, software failure. And then natural disasters, while they only account for 5% of the causes of downtime, we really are talking about both those micro and macro disasters that need recovery. So now that we've seen those causes, well, it's pretty clear that we need a disaster recovery solution, but why hasn't everyone adopted a disaster recovery as a solution service? So what's interesting about DRAS is that it's not very well understood, and there are lots of misperceived barriers to adoption of on-demand failover. So let's take a look at some of these barriers and see. Now, what we found is that in a survey of 350 companies, ranging in size from 100 to 5,000 employees, most of these businesses said they couldn't fail over to a second location. Now, only 10% of the companies surveyed said that they could fail over within 15 minutes. And here, as we see, the #1 reason holding these companies back is the perceived cost of disaster recovery solutions. It's simply too expensive. So we'll come to that later in the presentation. We'll discuss that. The second is insufficient IT resources. So that's something that we'll speak to again, just having insufficient IT resources and solution complexity. These are the next highest barriers to adoption of a DRAS solution. Again, you can grab a copy of this report in the handouts. I just want to make sure, for those of you who joined a bit late, in the handout section you'll see a copy of this report. You'll also see a copy of these slides, so you can go ahead and grab those at any time during the presentation. All right, then, in addition to those barriers that we just saw, traditional disaster recovery invariably means trade-offs. On one end of the spectrum, you have off-site tape backup. And back in the day, this was the primary way that we were protecting data, but it was unreliable, and it still is. It is the cheapest option. Like you can see, it's the lowest cost. So along the left, you see the recovery time from days to mere seconds. Along the bottom, you see low cost up to highest cost. But again, it takes days to recover. It's unreliable. So then came cloud backup, a faster recovery time, but also an increased cost. And then appliance backup, which is very common today. So you do end up with something that's relatively reliable, affordable. You can see it's right there in the middle of the cost and recovery time spectrum. And then, of course, cold site, warm site DR, along this continuum, you still have to make the trade-off between speed and cost anywhere along the scale. And then on the far right, on the other end, you have hot site disaster recovery. So the primary and secondary backup systems are running simultaneously. The data is mirrored to the secondary server in real time. So both systems contain identical information. It has the fastest RTO. And again, recovery time objective. But this is really expensive. So really what you want, you see in the top left here, enter DRAS. So you see DRAS Nirvana. So what you really want is affordable on-demand failover. And DRAS is the best data protection paradigm that you can pursue with the fewest trade-offs. So not only you have backup, but you have failover. You can failover either on an appliance or in the cloud. And you can recover to a secondary site with just the push of a button in less than 15 minutes. But it can only deliver on this promise if you find the right vendor. And so the right vendor, we're going to take a look at what that offers to you. But before we do that, let's look at this slide, which may seem a little bit counterintuitive, especially coming from a cloud backup company as we originated. But disaster recovery as a service can open doors for new customers, bigger margins, and increased differentiation. So again, we're referring to DR as a service. You are going to be able to offer your customers failover for their entire business environment, not just their data. And you'll be able to do that in mere seconds. I'm curious, can anyone on the call today, on this webcast, say to their customers confidently that they can already offer this? Eric is saying, we offer many options around disaster recovery. I'd like to get more familiar with InfraScale. So what are the current options that you're offering? And I also see we are a VAR. We have traditionally sold Datto and Barracuda with some EMC. EMC is quite expensive. We're starting to migrate towards reselling our own private label solution. Well, Chad, you are going to see, I'm going to show a price comparison in just a few minutes here. So I think you'll be really interested in that price comparison, and also our solution is completely white label, so you do have that option. Wonderful. All right. So now let's take a look at the DRAS opportunity. So the DRAS market is estimated to grow from $1.4 billion in 2015 to $11.9 billion in 2020. So this is a compound annual growth rate of 52.9%. But most channel partners have yet to focus on their DRAS business. And really by doing that, because of this surging market, you're risking falling behind on the early movers. So you can see from this trend here, the market hasn't quite reached full maturity. So this is really the time to be exploring the potential of cloud-based disaster recovery with your customers. And now this is really our mission here at InfraScale, is to eradicate downtime. We're a DRAS company that utilizes the cloud to eradicate downtime. So we are equipping every company with the ability to quickly and affordably recover from a disaster, large or small. This is what you're able to now offer your customers. So it's a pretty simple mission here that we have. Of course, we can't eradicate the causes of downtime. We can't tell you that hardware failure is never going to happen, that human error is never going to happen. But what we want to do is lessen the pain that your customers experience so that you can get them back on their feet quickly when any disaster strikes. So let's introduce the 5 must-haves and take a look at this list really quickly. So 1 is DR that's on demand. 2 is cloud spillover. How many of you are currently utilizing cloud spillover? Please use the question tool. You could either just say yes or no. Just yes, I'm familiar with cloud spillover, yes, I'm using it, or no, I'm not utilizing cloud spillover. 3 is you must have a disaster solution with complete coverage. 4 is push-button failover, and 5, data encryption. Of course, we're all concerned with privacy and data security, so that's something that we're going to touch on as well. So far, I see about 95% no's on cloud spillover and just one yes. So I'll make sure to get into those details as well. That's something that's really important for you all to hear about, and that's definitely something that you're going to want to be able to offer your customers. So let's dive into some of these must-haves. First is a solution that is the right vendor is going to support DR on demand, like in this scenario. So you have these end users, just like you see here in this situation. These end users are working, your customers here are just working away, and unknown to them is that they're about to experience an unexpected disaster. So there you go, servers, applications are down. This could have been, hardware failure. It could have been just, again, human error. But, so those red X's that you see are indicating that disaster. And you're the one who needs to deal with this right in the midst of an outage. This could happen at any time. This could even happen in the middle of the night. But with on-demand failover, you simply log in. You can log in from any browser, even on a laptop, a tablet, or a smartphone, and you can recover the entire environment with just the push of a button, virtualize any of the servers that are down, boot and run either on the appliance or in the cloud, and that way everyone keeps working. And that whole process takes just a minute. But again, not all DRAS solutions are going to work this way, that you can boot on the appliance or in the cloud, that you could boot from anywhere in just a minute's time. But again, whichever data protection option that you go with, just keep this in mind. It should definitely offer you this flexibility. This is really the new way to do failover, and this is the Infrascale we do disaster recovery. Okay, second is cloud spillover. So you really do want to find a vendor with cloud spillover, whichever vendor you end up want to feel not only that you can put your trust in that vendor, but also that they have a cloud spillover solution. So here's a quick scenario to kind of easily and quickly demonstrate this. And this is going to sound familiar to you. You buy an appliance, for example, the data ends up growing and growing, your data is growing, and you end up filling up that appliance. So then you need to buy another one, and you fill that up as the data continues to grow. And so you buy another one and fill that up. And this circle continues where more space equals more appliance. And look at how quickly that can add up in cost. Look at how expensive that's going to get for you. So that's the old way on the left. But take a look at the new way. So here we're saying more space equals more cloud. So imagine you could currently have the last hardware appliance that you'd ever need, a slim rack mount unit, a 1U unit, and you could send that 1 terabyte or you could send it 100 terabytes. But how would you really do that? So we're utilizing the cloud intelligently to spill data over from the device to the cloud. It's all based on policies that you set, based on the age, the value of the data. You keep the most critical data on the appliance, and you spill everything over to the cloud, everything else over to the cloud, I should say. And Gartner wrote about us in their Cool Vendor report last year. So Gartner wrote, Infrascale says that when you need more space, get a bigger cloud, not a bigger appliance. So that's going to save you so much when it comes to the cost of your solution and the margin that you can generate. So hopefully that's clear on cloud spillover. Let me know if there are any questions with that as I move on to number 3. So here's number 3, complete coverage. Now, just think about what you're currently protecting for your customers. It's increasingly vital to protect all of their data, all of their applications, and all of their devices. So you want a solution that can back up any device. Now this is desktops, laptops, mobile, both physical and virtual servers. I myself, I work on my iPhone, I work on my laptop all the time. So how many of you have customers with road warriors out there working from a tablet, working from a smartphone. You need that data protected as well. Okay, support for any operating system. We support more than 100 versions of the most popular operating systems out there. Not just Windows, but Linux and Unix, VMware, Hyper-V, over 100 different versions. And then you want to be able to deploy in any form. So the type of form factor, physical appliances, virtual appliances, agent-level backups, and then being able to store in any cloud. So this is really the flexibility of storing your data in any cloud. The vendor's cloud, your own private cloud if you have the infrastructure, or maybe you're working with popular third-party clouds, Amazon Web Services, Windows Azure. You also want to be able to recover anything, and we allow you to recover from an entire database server down to mailbox level. Even search and preview so that you can find the specific message if needed and recover that. You want to be able to boot anywhere. So I mentioned this a little bit earlier. Boot either on the appliance or in the cloud, and then fail back any systems. So VMs, applications, servers, the entire network. Infrascale really lets you protect all of your customers' data, from mobile devices to desktops and laptops and physical or virtual servers. And we support over 100 versions of operating systems. So also please feel free to ask, do you support this operating system? This is what I use. Let me know your customer's environment and what you're dealing with so that I can be sure to let you know that we support that. And then Mark is asking about what RTO and RPO timeframes are offered. So Mark, you're actually going to be setting the policies yourself on how often your backups run. So for example, you have your backup run every 15 minutes. Maybe you have your backups run every 24 hours. So you're going to be able to really determine that recovery point objective. So if you set your backups every 15 minutes, now you're going to have a recovery point objective of 15 minutes, whatever is lost in that time. So you will be able to determine that on your own. You can work with your customers and see what's going to work for them. And the recovery time is going to be mere minutes. I have a demo that I can show everyone. I'll do that towards the end of this presentation here. And it's a 3-minute demo that shows a live recovery. All right, let's move on to talk about number 4, push-button failover. So earlier I kind of mentioned the micro and macro disasters, when it came to the hardware failures versus the natural disasters. Now, it's really important to consider when you're looking at disaster recovery. It's the importance of protecting your customers against both types of outages. So you want to be able to quickly recover from micro disasters. An appliance-based failover is going to be the way to go there. Just the push of a button, you can spin up and virtualize VMs with all of that critical business data. That way, your customers are going to be able to keep running, keep working, and you can work to fix the source problem. Because the appliance is local, the time that it takes to virtualize those VMs is measured in mere seconds. On the other hand, in order to recover from a flood, for example, you'll want cloud-based virtualization. So if there's a natural disaster, if the server is, say, completely underwater, then you're going to want push-button failover by spinning up VMs in the cloud and letting your customers access those applications and stay productive during that site-wide disaster. All right. So that brings us to number 5 here. And this is all about data security and privacy with encryption. So solutions that take raw files and send them to the cloud, Infrascale uses a military-grade double-blind encryption to protect data. And this Infrascale way is a best practice as compared to the methods that other solutions use. With encryption locally, in transit, and at rest, that's the only way to truly ensure that data is secure. And this grade of security really allows you to enable compliance with regulations such as HIPAA, PCI, and more for your customers. We sign business associate agreements. It's a very simple and easy process. All right. And just to be clear, I had a question come through a few minutes ago when we started this slide on this double-blind encryption. So this is specifically for business data. You don't want to simply put your customer's data in raw and encrypt it in the cloud. This approach is really to encrypt the data locally with a key that you have and the vendor doesn't. And then when the data gets to the data center, it's encrypted again with a key that the vendor has and you don't know. So by having those two separate keys, it's going to dramatically lower the chances of an attack being successful. And even if a hacker gets in, they can't decrypt the data because they don't have both keys. So it's just like a bank deposit box. You need both keys to access that data. All right. I have been talking quite a bit, so I want to hear from the audience again, and I'm going to launch a second poll here. So I'll give everyone a moment to answer this poll, simply asking which of these is you. I can fail over a customer to a second site in under 60 minutes already. B, I wish I could offer failover DR, but I can't afford it. And C, I don't think I need failover DR. And for those of you, a couple people have answered C. It looks like so far we've had about 50% of you who voted. And it looks like one or two have said, I don't think I need failover DR. I'm really curious as to why. Aside from that, we have 50% of you say, I can failover site in under 60 minutes already. So of those 50% of you, can you fail over in 15 minutes or under 15 minutes? And then now, as more votes are coming in, we have 50% actually saying, I wish I could afford failover DR, but I simply can't afford it right now. I wish I could offer it. Let's see. Nearly everyone has voted so far. I'll give everyone just another moment to reach over and click one of the answers to respond here. And while I give everyone a moment or two to vote, I'll go see if any new questions have come through. Cheryl asked, do you support pure arrays? Cheryl, I may have to check with a sales engineer to ask and get back to you on that one. That's a new question for me in particular. Mark asked, what happens when a region-wide disaster hits? Well, Mark, we have, actually, first of all, Mark, do you have, are you looking for a private cloud? Do you have your own infrastructure that you are using? Or would you be looking to use the InfraScale cloud? If so, the InfraScale cloud has 16 global data centers. So in regard to the region-wide disaster, you have the ability to select which data center. So you could have your data in any one of our 16 globally dispersed data centers. We also replicate that data. So you're not going to have a problem with a region-wide disaster because you depending on, of course, the data center that you choose. So you'll want to choose a data center in a different geographic region than you're located. Mark also says, do you have SSAE 16 certification? Yes, we do. Eric says, not likely in under 16 minutes. Let's see. Okay, Cheryl's asking about dedupe. Great question. We're going to get to that in just a moment, Cheryl. I'll be sure to let you know when we get there. Chad says, clicked the wrong answer. Sorry, no problem, Chad. Okay, so it looks like the majority of you have voted, so I'll go ahead and close the poll. And in the end here, what we have is 45% say, I can fail over a customer to a second site in under 16 minutes. 40% say, I wish I could offer failover DR, but simply can't afford it, and we'll talk about that. And then 15 say, I don't think I need failover DR. Steve says, does failover DR really work in practice? Is it even usable? Yes, Steve, it works in practice. I'm going to show you a demo, and it is very much so usable. We have all of our partners on a failover DR system right now. Well, I shouldn't say all, but nearly all. Okay, InfraScale key benefits. So first is that we offer breakthrough pricing. I'm about to show you a comparison, but our solution lets you save up to 70% in comparison to other leading DRaaS solutions. We also offer cloud spillover, so you can untether your cloud storage from local usage. We also offer push-button failover and complete coverage. So we're really supporting the most operating systems and hypervisors out there, and you can recover servers and applications in just minutes. So let's take a look at this comparison. So here is a comparison with Barracuda, Unitrends, and Datto. And earlier, let's see, I'd have to scroll up to the top of the questions to see, but someone on the line did mention that they're selling Barracuda and Datto. Maybe it might have been Eric or Steve. So this is a comparison that we did, and it was an apples-to-apples comparison. It was a 10 terabyte appliance with 3 years of cloud storage bundled in. So 10 terabytes on the appliance and 3 years of cloud storage. With Barracuda and Unitrends and Datto, this apples-to-apples comparison, the InfraScale cost was up to 70% less. And I'm happy to share these results with you. So just keep in mind as well that this is scalable from just a few terabytes, 1 terabyte of protected storage, to hundreds of terabytes. You can also bolt on an unlimited amount of cloud space for long-term storage and for archiving. And by looking at this, you see that pricing with InfraScale lets you save up to 70% in comparison to others. And it's simply a low monthly fee based on the number of terabytes protected. So you only pay for what you protect. Okay, here are a few more details. Again, simple, transparent pricing. We offer cloud spillover. You don't need to pay for bloated service, so you can stop paying for excessive professional service contracts. Maintenance is included. We offer 24/7 US-based support at no additional cost. So there are no hidden fees. It's completely upfront, simply based on the number of terabytes protected. If you want, you can use your own hardware. So you can deploy virtual appliances on your own hardware, or of course you can use ours as well. Also, you can put us through the test. So you will be able to use 20 free DR tests. So you'll be able to make sure that you are up and running and everything is working properly. So here's another chart where we do have another sort of comparison here. It's summarizing the key criteria that we think you should be looking at when comparing competitive DRaaS solutions. So as you can see here, all of the major vendors simply don't stack up the way that InfraScale does. Now we're looking here at Axient, Datto, Barracuda, and Unitrends. What we're looking for, a solution that's affordable, that offers cloud spillover, that offers complete coverage, push-button failover, encryption and security, and has the recovery time objectives that I need. So you do want, of course, an affordable solution that offers the recovery time that you need for your customers, that offers cloud spillover and push-button failover. Now, let's take a look at the channel difference. So you want to build a profitable disaster recovery business and make money by protecting your clients' key data, key applications, and really offering complete coverage for them. So our channel program offers 4 distinct benefits that I want to be able to offer to you. So 30% margins. We offer rich margins on our cloud-connected appliances, as well as recurring revenue through our cloud services. Now, we offer these margins by protecting your leads with deal registration. So you are required to complete that deal registration in order to receive these 30% margins. That way, we protect your leads. You have the deal registration in place ahead of time, and we can offer you a dedicated sales rep to help you close that business, help you close more deals, close them faster, and give you training on differentiation of the product. Now, we're also extremely partner-centric. All of our business is directed to and through you. So we're not cannibalizing your sales by selling direct, and we're funneling real leads directly to our channel partners. So if you were here on the very beginning of this webinar, you heard me say, are you an MSP? Are you a VAR? If you are in IT at an enterprise organization, end user company, no problem, because this is really helpful information to know, and we are going to funnel those through you, our valued partners, because we are completely partner-centric. So we will be able to help you with your business and offer technical support as well. So once you sign up with InfraScale, you have a dedicated SE, and that SE, sales engineer, is going to help train your technical crew. We offer specialized training, how-to videos, if you'd like to just work through the videos on your own. We definitely show you how it's done and how you can configure your own deployments. And then demand gen. Now this is particularly where I come in. In the very beginning, again, I said I'm Carla Federigo. I'm in the marketing department with InfraScale. So this is where I will be working with you. For select partners, we will provide market development funds. We'll help fund and execute webinars just like these, as well as small executive events. We have an online partner resource center to help you with brandable collateral, and we'll also provide you with email templates and other templates and resources to help you get started. So that's where you'll be working directly with me. I work with many of our partners on webinars. Are very popular because they're so easy to do. You don't even have to leave your office. Live events are great as well. So let's take a look now at the dashboard. This is a quick snapshot of the online dashboard. And you'll see this in the failover demo that I show you in a minute here. So this is the dashboard. It provides you a unified management console for all of your data protection and cloud storage. It doesn't require VPN access. From here, you can log in even on your tablet, and you can view activity alerts. You can access reporting and monitoring. You can manage retention settings for compliance here. And you can control remote deployment as well. You can use our MSI to deploy anywhere in the world. I see questions coming through. I'll be sure to get to those in just one moment here, because we're coming just very close to the end of this presentation. So just two more slides here, and I'll get to those questions and show you the demo as well. So everything that I've said today, you don't have to take my word for it. Gartner named us a cool vendor in 2015 in business continuity and disaster recovery. We've been recognized by Storage Switzerland and ZDNet as well. I'm not going to read through these here because you'll be getting a copy of this presentation. If you have not already grabbed it in the handout section, you can grab a copy of this presentation. And this is simply to show you don't have to take my word for it. We're recognized by all of the pros out there, all of the industry leaders. Now, next steps here. For joining me today, I want to be sure to offer all of you on the line a free evaluation unit, a cloud failover appliance eval. And this is completely free to you for 30 days. I'd love to offer this free eval unit to you. And if you'd like to take advantage of this offer, just simply type in your name and your email address, or maybe your phone number if you'd prefer a call. You can type that into the question tool, and we'll be able to get you set up. We'll reach out to set you up with that via email or phone number, whatever is best for you. By the end of this week here, we'll be able to reach out to you. I suppose it's already Thursday, so tomorrow we'll be reaching out to set that up for you. Again, just your name and either your email address or your phone number, whatever is easiest for us to contact you, and we'll set you up with a free CFA Cloud Failover appliance. So you can test that out for yourself. You can see how quickly and how easily it is to run those recoveries. Okay, so I did mention as well that I want to show you a demo. So while you're putting your request in for those CFA units, I'll show you a quick demo. And very quickly here, this is my email address. Again, you can contact me at any time if you have further questions after this presentation. We're happy to help. And I have one final poll as well that I'd like to show everyone. But I think I'll come back to this poll after showing you Cloud Failover in action. So first, I'd really like to show you how this works in action. So let's take a look, Cloud Failover. Let me just play this, get this video playing of a quick 3 minutes. Okay. So here we go. Just taking this is a quick video walking through the steps here if there's a disaster so that you can see how quick it really is. So logging into the dashboard, you can see there's a ton of analytics here, tools right at my fingertips. So this is where I can manage everything from one place. So I'm going to go into View and Manage the Appliances here so that you can see. Let's see, I think I paused it. Let me get this playing again. I hit pause there on accident. Okay. So here you can see that some of the appliances are standalone. Some are replicating to the cloud. And I'll just navigate here to an appliance that's replicating to the cloud. And I'll navigate to the office that's gone down. And then I'll just be able to click into the cloud site here. Now again, I don't need to mess around with VPNs or anything. The dashboard gives me the power to manage remote environments and deploy desktop agents without any extra hardware. So here I'll simply navigate over to where I know this is the office that's gone down. I'm going to browse and recover files. And now I'll be able to navigate right over to the Cloud Boot tab. So here I see all the servers in this office. I can find the server that I want to bring up. In this case, right here, I'll click Boot, and then I'll be brought to the Cloud Boot wizard. So here, I need to simply pick the point from which I want to back up. And so I picked the most recent backup date, and then I'm going to outline my network configuration. So I can decide which traffic do I want to accept. So I'll select allow from traffic from RDP and SSH. Next, I'll simply set up this notification email when the VM has been spun up. So here, set up that email notification. Now, I'm going to flip over to the Active tab. So here I see it's ready. The selected VM has been virtualized. And then let's verify that the server is actually running. So what I'm going to do is log into Windows Remote Desktop Client and connect to this particular server. So I can log in here and see that I have connectivity. Great. Let's open this up here so everyone can see. And then the last step here will be that I'm going to want to ping Google. So I'll open Windows PowerShell here, simply ping Google, and that is it. So from that, everything, I can see how quickly everything happened. Let's quickly actually recap. So let's take a look at a review. I logged into the dashboard. I found the office that was impacted by the disaster. Then I found the server that I wanted to bring up. And then I cloud booted into that server. I just waited about a minute or so. And then I logged into Exchange and I tested connectivity, and that's it. And you saw that whole entire process happen in 3 minutes. Great. Okay, so let's, with that, I'm going to go back here to this quick poll that I wanted to run, and then I'm going to turn to the Q&A. So I'm going to launch this last poll for you. So you should see the poll open now. And then I'm going to turn to some of the Q&A questions here. So let me get that pulled up while you all answer this last poll. Okay. So first question says, can you give a quick overview of the company? I wasn't familiar with InfraScale before. What about its customers? So great question. InfraScale was founded in 2011. Prior to that, our consumer offering, SOS Online Backup, was founded in 2006. We are currently headquartered in Los Angeles, California, and we are a venture-backed company. We have 150 employees worldwide. We have over 1,000 MSP partners across the globe. So in turn, we're protecting millions of endpoint devices and about 20 billion data objects globally. Let's take a look at the next question. Okay, and I also got a pop-up here, Mark and Joe. I'll definitely, Mark and Joe have already reached out to me on LinkedIn, so thank you so much for reaching out to me. I will definitely accept those invitations, and let me know if you have any further questions that aren't covered today, but let me dive into the Q&A. Okay, so you didn't share specific cost. What is the pricing model? So pricing, as I mentioned, it simply depends on how much you have to protect. The pricing starts at just a few $100s. If you're using, say, just cloud storage, if you want to use an appliance, we have a 1U unit up to a 9U unit. So it really depends on the types of environments that your customers have. Do you have physical environments, VMware-only environment? You know, it really we want to know how much data you have to protect. But again, you could start for just a few $100s, and then it scales up from there. And hopefully that helps as far as pricing. What changes regarding cost? If a cloud backup server needs to be spun up, are there costs associated with spinning up in the cloud? No, no additional cost. This is included in the pricing. It's only by the amount of data protected, not by the number of recoveries. Are there any overage costs in the cloud as limits are met? If I go over capacity, is my data not backed up? So if you go over capacity, we will contact you to let you know you need more space. You're also going to be receiving warnings in the dashboard as you get close to capacity, but we will never leave you hanging without your scheduled backups. So your customer's data is always still protected. We'll simply give you a call and say, hey, you've run out of space, let's get you an upgrade. Next question. So you said the appliance supports over 100 versions of operating systems. Is that true? Yes, we support Windows, Mac, many others. Just to be a little bit more specific, all versions of Windows, all versions of Linux, Unix, OpenServer, Novell NetWare, Solaris, HPUX, and AIX. We also have bare metal bootable for Windows, and we have bare metal bootable for Linux coming this year. I just can't recall right now if it's Q1 or Q2, or I believe it's either Q2 or Q3 actually. So, and I can get, if someone wants specifics on that, I can definitely get you the exact answer for that. Do you support Red Hat and CentOS? Yes, both common Linux distributions. We support those. Is your backup in real time, or can we determine the frequency of when the server is backed up? So the protection policies are completely configurable. You will set, as I sort of mentioned earlier, to protect, say, every 24 hours, every 15 minutes, whatever you would like it to protect, you can set those policies. Okay, next question says, are there minimum bandwidth requirements? So at least 1 megabit connection would be needed. We also have a very powerful deduplication, and that came in, Cheryl asked about that earlier, I believe. We do leverage data dedupe. We have a 90% deduplication rate. Of course, it simply depends on the type of data, the type of files, but we do have a very powerful dedupe technology built right into the Cloud Failover appliance. It also has a bandwidth throttling tool, so you're able to use that bandwidth shaping tool that you can decide how much bandwidth it should use at different times. And there's also a very powerful WAN acceleration tool built right in as well. Let's see. What is your support like? So we offer 24/7 support. It's 365 days a year. And we offer US-based support. Half of the support team is in Los Angeles and half of the support team is in our Salt Lake office. We offer support via email, ticketing, live chat. We also have a knowledge base. And we have a phone line with a 1-hour SLA, so you are always able to get in touch with us for support. Can you replicate to multiple cloud services? Yes, you can. We support Amazon Web Services, Windows, Azure, Microsoft. We support your own, if you have your own infrastructure, your own private cloud. Infrascale also has 16 global points of presence. We have data centers throughout the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, South America, and South Africa. Also, our data centers are all Tier 3 and Tier 4 with biometric credential requirements, redundant cooling systems, etc., etc. Are you PCI or HIPAA compliant? Yes. So we sign business associate agreements. We do take security very seriously. All of our data centers comply with HIPAA, Sarbanes-Oxley, PCI, Safe Harbor, SAS 70, SSA 16, and many other regulations, CGIS as well. So because our data is encrypted at 256-bit AES locally, it's sent over an SSL and then encrypted again at 256-bit AES. So we do take that security very seriously. If you want to take it a step further, with UltraSafe Max, you can not only define the password, but you can also define the encryption key itself. And again, whichever vendor you choose to go with, whether it be Infrascale or whether it be another vendor, if your customers are subject to any of those regulatory frameworks, definitely be sure that you choose a vendor that has that compliance built in. Okay. Next question says, is this compatible with my WAN accelerators? So yeah, if you're looking at WAN acceleration or over-the-wire deduplication, just make sure that the replication speed is what you need. Now, we use both of these technologies with data compression built into our solution. Some solutions are going to require you buy a WAN acceleration system, but we've built that right in. So no additional cost, no additional fees, no additional pieces that you need to purchase. We have a patented deduplication technology that allows us to dramatically reduce the data payload that gets pushed over the wire. Do you have a quick reference battle card that lines up your solution against others in the marketplace? Gary, yes, we do. We have. We don't just have one quick reference battle card. We have many against many, many others in the marketplace. I want to say maybe about 10 battle cards or 12 battle cards along those lines that I can think of at the moment. Gary, I'm happy to share those with you. I want to be able to help you be as successful as possible, and those battle cards are very quick reference sheet and very easy to use. Let's see, next question. Is Infrascale an agent-based backup, or does it communicate with the hypervisor? Do I need to install agents, or do I need to install agents on devices and servers? So for agent-based or agentless, we do support both. What we recommend is within the data center, you use the agentless approach and connect directly to the hypervisor. But for things like, say, Unix servers or Linux running on Metal, we do. All right. If we remove a system from DR, how do we assure that all references to that server/data have been removed from the cloud? What do you do when data needs to be deleted? How is it removed from your data centers? So when data needs to be deleted, We utilize secure multi-pass delete, and that ensures the data is completely and safely destroyed. Okay, does your solution integrate with RMMs and PSAs like ConnectWise or Kaseya? Yes, we do. How does InfraScale allow files to be recovered from VM images that are backed up? I don't want to restore an entire VM just to get a single file. You can browse those VMs in the cloud and selectively recover. So that's very powerful to note. So also what's really important to note, because I see another question, how do I get data back on site from the cloud? So we move compute to where the data sits. So if you have 500 terabytes of data sitting on the appliance, or you have 500 terabytes of data in the cloud, we're going to move the VMs and run the VMs where the data is. So it's like a hyper-converged compute infrastructure. And this is really the brilliance of DRaaS. It's removing the bandwidth bottleneck from hybrid cloud solutions, where if you have a lot of data in a small pipe, you're going to have problems getting that data back down. But using DRaaS, we don't require you to move your data back to compute, but moving compute to where your data is. And that's how we can boot you up in minutes, no matter how much data you have. What options do we have for IP addressing? There are a few options there. We can set up MPLS networks, we can set up a virtual private network, or we could set up managed DNS. So you have a few options there. So next question, so only the latest information stays on the local appliance and everything else is in the cloud? So no, it's not just the latest information on the appliance. It's the most important data on the appliance. You can set the policies regarding the value of that data. Okay. Do you allow seeding capabilities for those with slow internet pipes? Yes, we do. Do you offer monthly payments? Yes, we do. We have flexible payment options. We have monthly payment plans available. We also offer hardware as a service so that you can pay on a monthly installment basis for the 1200 series and the 1500 series of our appliance. So those two. All right. Next question says, do you offer white labeling for MSPs? Yes, we are a completely rebrandable solution. And then what sort of margins can I make as an InfraScale partner? You can set your own downstream price and essentially set your margins. Now we do offer that, that special pricing that I mentioned earlier if you are registering your deals. So on deal registrations, you do receive essentially a discount for simply registering that deal. Okay, is there a demo or an evaluation available? So yes, we definitely would love to get you all started on a free eval. All you need to do for that free eval is simply type in your name and either your email address or your phone number, and we can get you started with the free eval today. Okay, do you combine DR and backup and archiving into one solution? Yes, we do. Let's see what else, what other questions here, and I'm noticing it's, wow, I'm noticing I have 1 minute. Okay, let me answer one more question. I want to make sure to read the results from the poll. Also in the very beginning, I did mention we have that giveaway today. I need to go through the questions very quickly. I'll see if I cannot do that in the next minute. But if you have to drop off the line, I definitely understand. I will be emailing you all after this presentation, so I will be sending that out shortly. So please do, if you need to drop off, I want to be conscious of the time that you spend here. Thank you so much for joining. So I'll just read one last question here. I have a 100 terabyte opportunity. Can you help me win it? Yes, definitely. Our sales engineers are experts at our product and at our differentiators, and they can join you on your call. They can speak to your opportunity. They can answer any questions and really help you win that deal, help you sell more deals quicker, and really be of service to you. So With that, the results of the poll here really quickly. 32% happy with my backup, interested in selling DR. Let's see, we also see 27% comparing vendors now. So for those 27% of you currently comparing vendors and looking at a new solution, who are you comparing with? What could I send you that would help you sort of look at an apples to apples to comparison with those other vendors? I'd love to answer any specific questions on that. So use the question tool, type that in. As we're coming to the end of the hour, I will leave the line open for a few more minutes, but I do want to be sure to thank everyone for joining us today. I see a lot of questions still coming through, so I'm going to leave this line open, and I'll be sure that we follow up with you either via phone or email as you put in the question tool. If I didn't get to your question today, keep an eye out in your email for follow-up from me or from a colleague on my team to answer that question. And for the winner of that prize giveaway, I need to go as well. I need to sort these questions and see who asked the most relevant non-topic questions. Offhand right now, I see a lot of questions still coming through, so thank you so much for your participation. Keep an eye out again for your email if you're the winner for that. So I very much look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you so much for joining me today, and talk to you soon. Hope to work with you very soon here. Thanks very much. Have a great day.